In the summer of 1977, Liverpool Football Club faced a massive challenge. Our greatest ever goal scorer, Kevin Keegan, had just left for Hamburg. The fans were worried, They wondered who could possibly replace a player like that. The manager, Bob Paisley, had a plan. He looked north to Scotland to a brilliant player at Celtic. That player was Kenny Dalglish. Paisley paid a British record transfer fee to bring him to Anfield. It was a huge statement. It showed the club's ambition. They weren't just replacing a star, they were bringing in someone they believed could become even greater. The pressure on Kenny was immense from the very first day he walked through the doors at Melwood. He was stepping into the boots of a local hero. And the cop expects, it always does. But Kenny had a special quality about him, a calmness mixed with incredible self-belief. He wasn't trying to be the next Kevin Keegan, he was just determined to be the first Kenny Dalglish. He was given the famous number 7 shirt, a number that carried so much weight in history at the club. From his first training session, the other lads could see he was different. He had a football brain that was on another level entirely. His start was something out of a storybook. He scored on his league debut against Middlesbrough, which settled the nerves a bit. Then he scored in his first home game at Anfield, right in front of the Kop. The fans took to him immediately. They saw his intelligence, his touch, his vision. He wasn't just a goal scorer, he was a creator, someone who made the entire team better. He linked up play beautifully with the other forwards and midfielders. It was clear very quickly that Bob Paisley hadn't just signed a replacement. He had found the missing piece to take an already great team to an even higher level of dominance. The moment that truly announced his arrival on the European stage came in his very first season. It was the 1978 European Cup final at Wembley against Club Brugge. The game was tight, a tough, nervy affair. It needed a moment of magic to decide it. Graeme Souness played a perfect through ball, and Kenny was onto it in a flash. With the goalkeeper rushing out, he produced a beautiful, delicate chip into the back of the net. That goal won Liverpool the European Cup. In his first season, he had delivered the biggest prize in club football. A new king had been crowned at Anfield. Kenny Dalglish's playing style was pure genius. He wasn't the quickest player on the pitch, but his mind was 10 steps ahead of everyone else. He had this incredible ability to find space where there was none. His back was often to the goal, but that was when he was most dangerous. He would hold off big, strong defenders with his body, using his strength and low center of gravity. Then, with a quick turn or a clever pass, he would open up the entire defense for his teammates. He had eyes in the back of his head, I'm telling you. He knew where everyone was without even looking. His first touch was immaculate, like the ball was stuck to his boots with glue. No matter how hard a pass was fired into him, he would kill it dead instantly. This gave him that extra split second to make his next move, whether it was a pass, a turn, or a shot. And what a finisher he was. He could score all types of goals. He could curl it into the top corner from outside the box, or he could score a tap-in from a yard out. He was a predator in the penalty area. His partnership with Ian Rush later on was legendary. Kenny would drop deep, create the chances, and Rushy would finish them off. They understood each other perfectly. In his first season, he scored 31 goals, which was an unbelievable return. He helped the team win the league title in 1979 and 1980. He was the main man, the focal point of the attack. The whole system was built around his talent. The team played with a swagger and a confidence that came from knowing they had a player like Kenny on their side. He won the PFA Player of the Year award in 1983, which showed you how much respect the other professionals in the game had for him. He wasn't just a Liverpool hero, he was recognised by his peers as the best in the country. One of his most memorable goals came against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in 1986. By this time, he was the player manager. The league title was on the line on the final day of the season. The game was locked at 0-0, and we needed a win. Kenny chested the ball down just inside the area and, on the volley, hooked it over his shoulder and into the far corner. It was a goal worthy of winning any title. It summed him up perfectly: brilliant technique, composure under pressure, and a leader who delivered when it mattered most. That moment secured his first league title as a manager while he was still the best player on the pitch. The transition from star player to manager is never an easy one, but for Kenny it seemed like a natural next step. In 1985, after the Heysel Stadium disaster, Joe Fagan resigned as manager. The club was at a low point and it needed someone special to lift it. The board turned to Kenny Dalglish, appointing him as the player manager. He was only 34 years old. It was a massive responsibility to put on anyone's shoulders, let alone someone who was still one of the team's most important players. But Kenny never shirked a challenge. He took the job and dedicated himself to leading the club forward. In his very first season in charge, he did something incredible. He led Liverpool to the double, winning both the league title and the FA Cup. It was only the third time in the 20th century that a club had achieved this feat. As I mentioned, he even scored the winning goal himself on the final day of the season to clinch the league. He was a brilliant tactician, building on the foundations of the famous boot room philosophy, but adding his own ideas. He knew the Liverpool way inside out. He demanded high standards on the training pitch and got the best out of the players around him. He then went on to build one of the most exciting attacking teams Anfield has ever seen. He signed players like John Barnes, Peter Beardsley, and John Aldridge. The football they played in the 1987-88 season was breathtaking. It was fast, fluid, and full of goals. The team went on a long unbeaten run and won the league title with style and dominance. People still talk about that team as one of the greatest in English football history. Kenny had proven he was not just a world-class player, but also a world-class manager. He had an eye for a player and knew exactly how to fit them into his system. Under his management, Liverpool won 3 league titles and 2 FA Cups. His success was built on a simple principle: keep the ball, pass it to a red shirt, and work hard for each other. He commanded total respect in the dressing room because of what he had achieved as a player. When Kenny Dalglish spoke, you listened. He was a leader who led by example, both on and off the pitch. His move into management wasn't just a success, it was a continuation of the golden era he had helped create as a player, cementing his place as an Anfield legend. Kenny's time at Liverpool was filled with incredible highs and glittering trophies, but his legacy was also shaped by how he led the club through its darkest days. The Hillsborough disaster in 1989 was a tragedy that shook the city of Liverpool to its core. 97 fans went to a football match and never came home. In the aftermath, Kenny Dalglish was more than just a manager. He became a pillar of strength for the entire community. He showed incredible compassion and dignity. He was a shoulder to cry on for the bereaved families and a voice for a city in mourning. He attended many of the funerals, sometimes several in one day. He made sure the club was represented at every single one. He and his wife Marina opened their hearts to the families who had lost so much. The emotional toll it took on him was immense. Football became secondary. What mattered was supporting the people. His leadership during this period went far beyond football. He showed what it means to be a true representative of Liverpool Football Club. He stood with the people, he fought for them, and he carried the weight of their grief. It's for this reason that he is loved so deeply. The strain of the tragedy eventually led to him resigning as manager in 1991. He said he felt like his head was going to explode, but his connection to the club and the city never faded. He remained a passionate ambassador and a supporter. When the club needed him again in 2011, he answered the call. He returned as manager to steady the ship during a difficult period. He brought a sense of unity back to the club and won the League Cup in 2012, our first trophy in 6 years. It showed that his magic, his ability to inspire, was still there. Today, Kenny Dalglish is known simply as the King. It's a title given to him by the Kop, and it fits perfectly. He is a legend, not just for the goals he scored or the trophies he won. He is a legend for his character, his loyalty, and his humanity. He represents the very best of Liverpool Football Club. He has a stand at Anfield named after him, a permanent tribute to a man who gave everything for the badge. For generations of Liverpool fans, he is the ultimate icon, a symbol of success, resilience, and an unbreakable bond between a man, a club, and a city.